Wow, we have a lot to unpack. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk, and I'm here to talk to you about Helluva Boss. Or more specifically, the newest episode, the Harvest Moon Festival.
Harvest Moon Festival?
Now let me be honest, I was very conflicted about this episode. At first, I thought it was going to be a bunch of boring filler. Then I thought, whoa, this show hit therapist syndrome. Finally, I thought, wait a minute, what do you think they're doing? I was pretty prepared to tear this show a new one, but then something happened. I waited, and I collected my thoughts, and I watched the episode a second time, and I realized I was jumping to conclusions. There's a problem or two, but this is definitely not the worst episode. Just a tip to anybody who wants to become a critic, I really recommend that if you watch something, watch it twice. You notice things you did in the first watch. But what would possess me to give such a scathing review to one of my favorite shows? Well, let's discuss. The episode begins in Solos'S bedroom. The same bedroom he shares with Stella. And yes, this will mean something. He and Blitz have just finished adult gymnastics? You know the whole deal the two have? Only this time it had to be a bit early because Stolas has to go to the Ring of Wrath for the titular Harvest Moon Festival. There he summons a harvest moon. I don't know how that works, but he feels quite safe going. Oh, and BTW, Blitz is a bold-faced liar. When Solus brings up Wrath, he tells him,
Wrath, huh? My employees are from there. I've never really been. I hear it's full of inbred chuckle.
But he's been there.
Steal their car and run 3 rings to Wrath and max my credit cards on horse riding lessons.
Anyway, Solus invites IMP, not his bodyguards or weird friends, just to have a fun day of fun. Blitz accepts. IMP travels down to the Wrath Ring. They're gonna stay with Millie's family. And I think I heard Millie's mom's voice somewhere.
No trouble. We know you aren't making as much anymore since y'all went freelance.
Something I hated about this episode on first watch was Millie's parents. Her siblings are pretty okay, but her parents are the worst. Worse than Cannibal Mom Martha. Hey, at least they love one another. I thought this episode was gonna go on the whole, my in-laws don't like me, so I'll make them like me plots. It felt odd for Helluva Boss to do this. Moxie and Millie are probably the healthiest couple I've ever seen in a show. I thought Millie's family would be equally accepting.
How would you be if I bet on him dying?
Honestly, I agree with a couple critics. Sitcom in-laws are the worst. Usually when they do plots with the parents, it feels like there's no good reason for them to hate the spouse besides something flimsy, if they even give a reason. Why can't it be more than, I have super high standards your spouse can never reach? But thankfully, this isn't the focus of the episode. Besides, Millie doesn't make excuses for her parents, and she reassures Moxie that she likes him how he is.
Don't let him get to you. And hey, you don't need my parents to respect you.
That was kinda nice. I mean, usually when they do this, it feels like either the spouse doesn't stand up to the parents until the end, if at all.
Y'all don't deserve to know my name.
Thank you, Looney.
More battles were won by technological advances in warfare.
Wait, Hell has war? Was it like War in Paradise Lost? I really need Has-Been Hotel to touch on this. On the farm, they meet Stryker, and he needs no introduction. He's got a great design, cool horns, a cool horse, a cool motive, and it seems like if the ending is any indication, he's sticking around. Side note, he has the best voice out of all the villains so far.
Why struggle to run a business that is rigged against you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, RoboFizz. He really reminds me of Shadow from Autodale. Something I didn't realize about this episode on first watch is it paints a pretty bleak picture about imps. The writers already said that imps are basically Hell's working class. I thought that meant because sinners are confined to pride, imps are basically Hell's society. But I think this episode implies imps are oppressed. The fact that when we go to Lululand, it's only imps, and the imps are the ones running the stand. The fact that Solos's servants are all imps, that is no coincidence. Even the fact IMP survived for so long is apparently a big deal.
Not many imps start businesses on their own. That's pretty impressive, sir.
Oh.
I just thought Stella was being classist when she yelled at Solus, but I think this episode implies that's normal. And even Solus himself ain't blameless. I thought it was something like he was never in a relationship, so he doesn't know how to treat the other person. And even if I think he and Blitz are endgame, it's a
transactional you see.
So I could see him talking down to Blitz, but he does it to all the imps in public.
Greetings, tiny wrath-ring imps. I hereby welcome you all to another year of celebrating the spoils of your labor.
Okay, I might be looking too deeply into this, but how can I not when we get stuff like this? Before we go any further, I must make this point. You can really tell this episode was co-written by Brandon Rogers. I love all the cursing. It's pretty creative. I might have to steal a couple.
Daddy It's a transactional you see. Inbred chuckle.
Millie's dad that says that each year, there's a competition where the Imps compete in a bunch of games. Blitz and Moxie and Stryker all enter. Millie can't because she's killed people?
You know you get too carried away. The last competition ended in 15 separate funerals.
I'm aware, but I only caused 9 of them.
Okay, I am kind of confused on the whole Imps dying thing. They already said nothing can kill a demon except for a weapon from heaven. So when you kill an imp with, say, a butter knife, does that really kill them, or do they just come back to life later on? All of those people Imp got hired to kill in episode 2, are they really dead? Again, I'm probably looking too deeply into it, I'll move on. Another problem I had was the scene where Moxie has to wrangle the bull pig thing. It was cute to see Blitz cheering him on, but it really felt like filler.
Mox, you don't need to do this.
Oh, he totally does. Take it, Moxie, yeah!
They really should have just cut the scene out and went straight to the games. There, Moxie gets thrashed. Hey, you know it, I know it. Let's just say it's a miracle he doesn't die. Blitz and Stryker both tie, oddly enough, so time for a song. It's called Sweet Victory. No, not that one. It's still pretty good. Sucks they talk over part of it, though. This seems to impress Blitz so much, he asked Stryker to join the business. Thank you, I could use more of him. Back at the house, Moxie finds a special rifle. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, so let's just cut to the chase.
Ooh, and Carmine-crafted blessing-tipped rifle. You are aware this kind of weapon can kill.
Demon royalty.
This is where the episode does a total 180. The atmosphere, the lighting, it was so impressive.
Millie.
I especially loved Vivian Nixon. She really shined in this episode.
Love you, hon. But for sake.
Stryker's getting ready to carry out the task, but then he's stopped by Blitz. Next to Millie's parents, this is what got me to review the episode. It was a cool reveal, but it felt like Blitz knew Stryker was bad for no reason. He says,
I wanted to stand around with a bunch of hillbillies excited about corn and with a thirsty owl on stage.
but he never suspected Stryker was evil at all. He idolized him and his horse. He does get a little sad when Moxie laments that Stryker's gonna join IMP, but that's about it. And that does not mean he suspected Stryker. He could just feel upset for a friend. Thankfully, the scene that follows makes up for it. I'm not discussing it here because I have a whole video planned on it, but it's probably my new favorite scene. Again, I'm really sorry, RoboFizz. Stryker escapes and IMP goes home. Not before Moxie chews out his in-laws.
But Millie has the strength enough for both of us.
You go, Mox! This leads to the last scene of the episode. At a motel, like a plebeian, Stryker calls up his client. And it's... Stella? Yeah, we're discussing this. I've seen a lot of controversy about this scene. Some say it's a cool reveal, others say it sucks Stella's gonna be the big bad. If you ask me, I'm sort of in the middle. I didn't think Stella was gonna be a villain, if only because it seemed like her entire purpose was just to throw furniture and chew out Solos'S. I honestly thought Helluva Boss would never have a full-on big bad. The show is pretty episodic, and even if they did, I didn't think they reveal who it was this early. It does put a few scenes in a new light.
We're rich and we're hot. People want our money and our bodies.
Maybe in episode 2, Stella put a hit on him, but none of them can do the job right, so she got somebody proper. Maybe that's why he invited IMP. Think about it, he can't be that stupid. If Stella has no problem screaming at the dinner table,
I don't care who you have to go through, make it happen!
I think Solos'S probably knows or at least has an idea. Heck, I go with this isn't the first time she hired a hitman. Maybe the Goetia can't get divorced, so it's one way or the other. Out of all the assassins, Stryker could just be the most successful. Okay, I think we covered our bases. That was the Harvest Moon Festival. After a few rewatches, I think it's a really good episode. It does have a problem or two. Millie's parents are the worst, but they aren't the focus. The part with the boar could have been cut, and honestly, the animation looks a little weird in a couple scenes. When they get serious, the animation is really good. Solos'S room, basically any scene with Stryker, they are all standouts. The scene with Moxie's room, though...
What do you want, sir?
Although it is just a nitpick.
Of course.